Good morning, hoodies. Welcome back to the Hood Table. One more again, it's your girl Tanya coming at you with an update and some new information on the Carlee Russell case. Now, a lot of you guys have been following this story along with the Hood Table, but there are literally some people that even I know who has not even heard of the story until the day that the press conference came out. I ran into somebody the other day who said, I didn't never hear about no Carlee or no Russell until the news conference. So this is going to be a recap for certain people who might not have been following, and also we're going to discuss some things that I've been seeing on the blogs and on social media since we found out that authorities say they cannot verify most of the information Carlee Russell has given them since she went missing in Alabama after calling 911, reporting a child running along the side of the interstate in nothing but a t-shirt and a pamper. Y'all, when I first heard about this story, I saw holes in it. I saw holes in the story in the future. And a lot of people have been feeling the same way. And then there were some people who were saying, oh, you guys gonna have to take back and eat your words, swallow your words, your foot gonna be in your mouth when y'all find out it was really true and that she wasn't lying, and all these advocates talking about, I understand us as black women. We don't get the media attention or enough attention from authorities when we do really come up missing. Really come up missing. Anyway, so we're going to do a little video recap first. I'm going to show you a few minutes of the interview that Carlee's parents did, and then I'm going to give you a few minutes of the press conference, and then after that, we are going to resume this conversation. Everybody, make sure you please like, share, and subscribe this video. Please and thank you very much. Here we go.
That moment you all first laid eyes on her again, what was it like?
To me, just so much joy.
This morning, in an exclusive sit-down with NBC News, the parents of 25-year-old Carlee Russell are speaking out, describing the moment their daughter appeared on their doorstep after being missing for more than 48 hours. What did you do when you saw her?
We tried to hug her as best we could, but I had to stand back because she was not in a good state. So we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But it's okay.
Last Thursday, police say Carlee called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carlee scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running, all her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carlee or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where Carlee was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation. And can you tell me, what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carlee's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor.
Carlee called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carlee's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carlee's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight, 600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carlee's mother stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carlee scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly. They located Carlee's wig and cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover police deployed all available assets from the point in the search for Carlee. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounding local and federal agencies assisted Hoover police in the search for Carlee Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carlee, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carlee's residence stating that she returned home on foot. In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carlee walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released. During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler. She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded but was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carlee had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash in her right sock. Out of respect for Carlee and her family, detectives did not press for additional information in this interview and made plans to speak with her in detail after giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carlee's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches and the days leading up to her disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th. On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carlee's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert. There were other searches on Carlee's phone that appeared to shed some light on her mindset, but out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carlee a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carlee can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carlee's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case.
There you go. For the people who have been following and who have not been all caught up with everything that's been going on with this Carlee Russell case. Per police, again, there is not any information that makes them believe that Carlee was really in any type of danger. They can't verify most of the information. You hear some of the things that she looked up, including the movie Taken. Now, I'm telling you, I've been gagging my life away about some of these memes and some of these different pictures that people have been posting up, representing this case and this fool-la-la, dealing with her and her family, especially like that interview that we saw in the beginning of her and her mother and her father. A lot of people said then, like, if they didn't feel either way about it after that interview, was like, I don't know, something just don't sound right. Something don't sound right. And then on top of that, how the police talk about, well, she wanted rest. The family didn't want her to answer any questions. We was like, okay, we'll holler at you again later. They got what they could get. We'll holler at you again later. But it seems like from the time that she went missing, that they were already inquiring into like her phone, text messages, things that she'd been searching on the website. Obviously, okay? Because they had all this information gathered. They had all this information gathered together. I know they had it gathered together before she even came back up and showed up at her parents' house, I believe that's the reason why the police were not trying to really make a statement until, they figured she reappeared. I guess they figure, she will eventually reappear, especially all those internet searches and her stealing from her job and taking certain things like toilet tissue and robes and stuff from the spa where she worked, then purchasing snacks and food. And everything was left at the site where she claimed she saw that toddler walking along the interstate. All her electrical stuff, her phone, her earpods, her keys, her purse, everything was left there but the snacks. Like, come on now. First of all, is somebody going to kidnap you? You think they really worried about your snacks? If anything, they going to take your purse, see if you got any money. They going to take your cell phone. They going to take your keys. They going to take all your valuable possessions. They don't want to leave nothing behind. Okay? They don't want to leave nothing behind, including you. They taking everything. But anyway, in this particular case, the police said they cannot verify most of the information dealing with the disappearance of Carlee or with any of the information that she has given them. Because why? They were all lies. And our platform, the Hood Table, yes, we was on it. We kept saying, she lied. She lied. There were people in our chat Every time we did commentary on this, there were people in our chat saying, "You guys, just wait, just wait. Why would she be lying? I believe her." You know, da 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 da. And I was like, "Child, child." I understand that when people come up missing or when people make accusations of assault and stuff like that, especially if it's children, you want to believe them. You want to take their word for it. I even said if my children something ever happened to them like that, because of things that have happened to me in my life, and I was not believed, I would believe my children. You have to prove them to be a lie. And maybe her parents feel the same way. I'm going to believe my child and you will have to prove me a lie. But now that the authorities have proved your child a lie, you still got her back. You still got her back. And telling people that we will not be bullied. That is what her mother put out the other day. We will not be bullied. Now, there are still people who also, they even though they know she lied, they still supporting her. Certain people are still supporting her, such as Anaya Blanchard's mother, Angela Harris. She said it's not her place to judge Carlee Russell. Now, Angela Harris, for the people who don't know who she is, Angela Harris, she again is the mother of Anaya Blanchard. I'm sorry, and they founded a nonprofit called Anaya's Heart after her daughter, Anaya Blanchard, was abducted and murdered nearly 4 years ago. Now, she spoke out Friday about her group's involvement in the disappearance of Russell, because not only was the local police involved, not only was top flight security involved, not only was the CIA involved, but Secret Service was involved. I mean, I'm surprised the president didn't come down there and camel. But anywho, what this mother had to say, again, who founded the nonprofit called Anaya's Heart, Angela Harris, she basically said, Carlee is reunited with her family, no matter how that happened or what that looks like or what the circumstances surrounding that are. Harris said in a Facebook Live video, our nonprofit is dedicated to helping bring people home. Now, keep in mind, police and teams of volunteers, including the Secret Service and others, including the Anaya's Heart Foundation, spent the next 48 hours searching for the 25-year-old Russell before she showed back up at her family's home on foot and was taken to UAB Hospital for an overnight evaluation where she gave police a statement. And y'all heard what the police had to say. Y'all heard what they had to say. They did their own research. They was thorough. They were thorough and did their due diligence on the information that she did give them. And again, come to find out, after a lot of people across the world, not just the nation, but after a lot of people across the world been advocating and praying for this return for this young woman, this beautiful 25-year-old nursing student and member of the AKA sororities, by the way, as well. Now, again, that lady, she still is like, okay, you know what? She didn't outright say she lied or fabricated probably 99.99999% of her story. Okay, if she was on Maury, they would say, the results are in. You know what? And we showed that you lied about 99.9999999% of your story. Child. Just a hot mess. Anyway, also, you guys, Carlee, as some of you might have expected, was fired from her spa job. Her co-workers are pissed. They are pissed. And not about just her stealing toilet tissue and a robe that belonged to the facility. But she was, she was fired from, the payroll at her Alabama job down there. The owner of the Woodhouse Spa in Birmingham told the Post that she's been canned. And not just fired, she's been canned. Here's your pink slip, child. And that her steamy co-workers are pissed about their former colleagues' increasingly suspect kidnapping account. The owner, Stuart Rome, said his staffers were stunned after hearing of Russell's purported disappearance and did everything in their power to help her home. Just imagine, a lot of us have coworkers who are close, if not closer, than our family and friends. You spend a lot of time with them day in and day out. You talk to them. You tell them about things that's going on with your life, your parents, your children, and things like that. Your thoughts, your fears, your strengths, your weaknesses. So imagine your coworker who you might have grown close to, who might have spent time looking for you, praying for you, worried and concerned about you, to find out that, as they say, she purported her disappearance. They said it was really devastating for them, thinking a coworker was abducted. The following day, Saturday, it was the busiest day of the week, and they had to plug along and work, and in the off times, pass out flyers and among other things. So while she was out there doing whatever in a Red Roof Inn, allegedly, even though her parents say that's not true, her co-workers were not only working their butts off because it was a very busy weekend, but they also were out handing out flyers. Child. But the mama talking about, we will not be bullied. Now, I think out of some of the pictures that I've seen about Carlee, and some of the memes, I think this one is the craziest. But probably the most truthful. She said, I never said I was missing. Y'all did. But you also said Tyler was running along the side of the interstate in a t-shirt and Pampers and no shoes. Just running along the side of the interstate. You also said a man who a lot of people say sound like he resembled Ronald McDonald with red hair and a bald spot in the back of his head kidnapped you. You also said a lady was playing around in your hair. There were certain things that you remembered and certain things that you didn't remember. And is that the little baby? Is that the little toddler that you saw running down the street, girl? Child, the craziest part of her story, I mean, it was enough that they determined that, there's not enough evidence to prove that she was in any type of danger or that anybody in the neighborhood or the community should be worried. Because the reason why the police came out when they did, because I think they really wasn't ready to come out when they did. They probably wanted to do more research, but the community was basically forcing them out. Why? Because per her story, it could be somebody really dangerous out there who did really kidnap her and keep her in the back of a trailer. You know what I'm saying? So if it was my community, I would probably feel the same way, especially as a woman. You know what I'm saying? Who got nieces, little girl cousins, sisters, friends, So I can imagine how in an uproar the community was, as they should have been. But to find out, while she was out there talking about she was taken, and while her family out there talking about she was taken, she done purported her whole dang story. Purported. I've never used that word before, but I'm going to start using it more often after this story. But anyway, y'all, man, let me tell you something. Her mother is saying we will not be bullied. So let's talk about what her mother had to say. Her mother put out a statement. Let me go ahead and pull up this statement. Oh, but her. Okay, let's pull up this statement. See what the mother had to say. Because I guess the mother is tired of people, talking about her daughter, where her whereabouts was, where she really was, what she was really doing. She lied. The girl was found with $107 in her socks, but she was kidnapped. And then you know what else? Before we talk about what her mother had to say, what else? She claims she don't know if she was assaulted, down there, without saying the words. Women, when has there ever been a time that you have had sexual intercourse, sexual relations, sexual activities, whatever you want to call it, and you didn't feel anything, feel any type of way, even the next morning, especially if you got it real good. Even the next morning. Even if you were, God forbid, assaulted, you there's something going on down there to let you know something happened, right? Unless you messing with somebody with a teeny tiny half an inch, I don't see how you could not know if you had intercourse or not. Whether you were prepared for it or whether it was sudden, without your consent, you could typically know or feel that something has happened down there. So I can understand if you lost your memory, if they might have drugged you, if they might have hit you over the head, something like that, choked you till you pass out, something like that, and certain things you won't remember. But as far as feeling, I would think that you would know if something happened down there. Hold on, let me get on the right page. Child. Get on the right page, Tanya. I'll stretch it out because I want y'all to be able to see this, okay? So, this is what her mother had to say. After all these allegations. And it's been allegations and accusations spinning around nonstop since, the first police call, since people started finding out about this story. So now, okay, this is what she is saying. The mother, Talitha. On behalf of Carlee Russell and her family, we first want to sincerely acknowledge and thank everyone for all your prayers, reward contributions through Crime Stoppers, and all the numerous acts of kindness shown to us. We asked God to perform, and He did. We understand and appreciate the sincere concern. However, we would like the public to understand a few things. First and foremost, Carlee's physical and mental well-being is our immediate concern. This has been a traumatic experience for Carlee, and secondly, for our family. Let's go down a little further. Secondly, oh child, this is an outstanding investigation, and we have fully cooperated with authorities from the onset and will continue to do so. Carlee has given detectives her statement, and hopefully they are pursuing her abductor. It will be up to law enforcement to determine what information they want to release. Now, this is, of course, before the press conference. Okay, as to not compromise the investigation. Further, we understand that there are some questions about the reward donations through Crime Stoppers. It is my understanding from information I received when the reward was set up that any donations received that were not used for the reward will be returned to each donor. She goes on to say, lastly, when we initially asked for help of the public in searching and praying for Carlee's safe return, we asked for sincere prayers, not prayers or support that come with strings or entitlement. We have not created nor authorized any GoFundMe accounts, nor solicited money from anyone. Please understand our mental state and anguish we have just experienced, and that Carlee is still dealing with, and understanding that no matter how many demands or false narratives that are produced, we will not be bullied into doing anything that will compromise our daughter's mental well-being or the investigation. Also, we will not entertain the negative social media comments with a response, so you find someone to do it. Oh, we doing it. We doing it. God has been too good to us. Hallelujah. And brought our daughter safely home, and we will not participate in allowing this moment to be tainted. It already has. Your daughter did that. There is one terrible and heartless hoax we want to address. Now, this part is about the hotel. Okay? There is one terrible and heartless hoax we want to address out of several. I received a text at some point from someone claiming to be Carlee and that she was at the Red Roof Inn. Where Tracy and Rob Rax was, down to the, anyway. Whoo, child. However, when my family went there and knocked doors, knocked on doors. I think that's what she meant. And looked for her. There was no indication Carlee was there, nor that she had ever been there. Any further questions or comments about the case will need to be directed at the Hoover Police or the ABI. Y'all, I know what a lot of y'all already think about this story and how y'all feel and how upset you are, especially us as black women again. We as black women, a lot of us feel some type of way. But I really want to hear from the AKA, from the sorority, from that organization. I really want to hear from them. You know what I'm saying? If y'all seen any statements from them, please let me know, because I've been searching and I haven't found anything. But as far as us, we as black women, again, a lot of us are just frustrated, to say the least, because of the fact we know how hard it is for us to get people to be concerned and look for us when we are really missing. And so many of us who are really missing. And I think that's why this story got so much light and so much publicity, because of that fact alone. There were people, stars, celebrities, Beyonce's mother, people in all type of sports organizations who were advocating for them to get out there and bring this woman home safely to her family. Now, granted, she is home. I'm glad she's home. I'm truly glad, because that would have just been just so horrible for her to be known as the woman who literally put her life on the line to rescue a toddler that she saw running on the side of the interstate. On that note, you guys, child, there's somebody I heard say they are no longer advocating for black women. I don't suggest people do that, but you can do what you want. The next story that comes out, yeah, if it's something similar to this story or along the same lines of this story, a lot of people gonna be like, she on her own. She on her own. We gonna continue our day like we ain't never heard about this story. But me personally, I don't wish that on anyone, for something like that to really happen. So hopefully if we hear about something about a black woman missing, in the future, people will still take it seriously, and law enforcement will take it seriously, and social media will take it seriously. Now, this particular lady, 25-year-old Carlee Russell, she'll probably forever be known as a liar, as somebody who cried wolf, and Jussie Smollett 2.0. Man, back to some of the memes that the people were saying about her. Oh my God. A lot of people is comparing her to Jussie Smollett's story when he was down there at the, down there getting them footlong sandwiches down at the Subway, looking for footlongs in the middle of the night. Lied about his whole story, okay? The fool-la-la of it all. But yeah, there goes a little Tyler. I don't know where that Talitha is now, because ain't nobody ever reported a child missing. Go figure. Ain't nobody ever reported a child missing. Or taken, for that matter. But again, her family, her mother, she's standing in the gap for her daughter and defending her daughter and saying, again, we will not be bullied. Not at all. We will not be bullied. And I'm going to tell you, ma'am, with all due respect, until your daughter do right by us and tell us the truth, and I mean the whole doggone truth, nothing but the truth, right hand of God, you will continue to be bullied, and you will never have peace, and neither will your daughter or your family. And I noticed that her boyfriend took down all his posts off of his social media advocating for her. Yeah, we know this. So he believes she a liar too? Or he just don't want to look like a fool because he was up there asking people to pray for her and under the impression that she was out there fighting for her life, when somebody actually said she was down there allegedly at the down to the Pound Town or trying to go to a concert. But who knows? Who knows? We still don't really 100% know what really happened. But I'm hoping she'll come forward and tell the truth. You already look bad. Can't get no worse, girl. Can't get no worse. And on that note, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Please and thank you very much. I appreciate you all for tuning in to this show today with the Hood Table and your girl Tanya. Like, share, and subscribe. Support the Hood Table. $, the Hood Table 402 is our cash app. If the spirit moves you to donate and contribute to our platform, please feel free to donate. $, the Hood Table 402. And stay safe, be blessed, remain vigilant at all times, and always remember to keep it hood. Bye.